Hello and welcome to the first episode of Coach's Corner. My name is Sam Eames and today I sat down with a fellow personal trainer, WG30 coach here at World Gym Burpengary, Josh Gorman. In today's episode, Josh shared his experience competing in his first bodybuilding show, the importance of having a strong support system from friends and family, and what makes a great trainer and how to actually find one. We also talked about some of the common mistakes people make in the gym and shared practical fitness advice that applies to beginners and experienced lifters alike. If you're thinking about becoming a personal trainer or you just have a passion for fitness, there's plenty of value in our conversation. Let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to the first episode of Coach's Corner. This podcast is where we talk all things deep into the world of health, fitness, business and mindset with the people excelling in their game. My name is Sam Eames and this is the first episode. I welcome a fellow personal trainer and coach here at World Gym Burpengary, Josh Gorman. Welcome, Josh.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No worries. Did you find the place all right?
Oh, it looks amazing. So good.
All right. So first episode, I guess. So we're just going to tailor it out and see how we go. So just want to know a little bit about your origin story and background. How long have you been a PT for?
Coming up to 4 years now. All right, so I think I started in the middle of 2021. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically 4 years exactly to the day.
Yeah, cool. And what did you do beforehand?
Beforehand, I was literally in school. Yeah, okay. So I came out of school in 2019, was playing football and was coaching, doing a bit of work on the side, but always had a passion for fitness. So as soon as I got my Cert 4 in fitness done, this was the avenue for me. Was it something you always wanted to do? In the field, yes. Originally, I had plans of being a PE teacher or going through the university stage, which I did do for a couple of years, but just found myself in the passion for fitness and just loved it from there. Yeah, cool. So if you weren't a PT, what do you think you'd be doing? If I wasn't a PT, well, I've done half of a university degree. Mm-hmm. So if I wasn't a PT, I would probably have finished that. That degree is a exercise, sport and science degree. So that's still an avenue that I would go down. If I was completely out of the fitness world, I feel like I might have been a employee for my father. He runs his own plumbing business. So that might have been an avenue, but for me, I always wanted my life to be centered around fitness. Mm-hmm. And this is the path I'm on right now. Yeah, cool. So before you got into the industry, what was your fitness journey before becoming a PT? So we obviously used to play soccer together at Caboolture and watching you come up through the ranks as a little junior into the senior men's team, which is pretty cool. But how was that process for you? I've been in sport my whole life. I started playing soccer from, I think, 5 years old. But between that time of 5 and 20 when I stopped, I played AFL for the school, I played rugby league, I played Oztag, touch football. I played many sports, so I've always had a sporting background. Mm-hmm. And football was always the primary sport. That's what I put all my time into. But I've played many sports growing up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what made you stop playing football? Well, in the year of 2020, I had quite a bad knee injury. I dislocated my patella, my kneecap. And had a bit of time out through that. And I had ongoing injuries from that knee injury for about 18 months. It made me fall out of love with the sport. I just lost my passion for playing, for training, for everything about the sport. So I just thought it might have been time to just pull the pin. Mm-hmm. And you just recently completed your first prep and comp for IFBB. What was the process of that? Yeah, so the start of last year, I decided to test the waters and do a bodybuilding show, and while I was young enough to fit into the juniors, I thought, why not just give it a crack? And it was a grueling process. I started mid-April last year. It didn't finish until September 28th, which was the end of September, so it was 6 months, so 26 weeks of a dieting phase. That was post a 10 to 15 week preparation phase before the actual dieting phase started. So it took up a lot of time, but thoroughly enjoyed the process. I'm a very process-driven person. So having that goal each day made me thrive so much more.
Mm-hmm. And that obviously comes from having a great coach. How did you go about finding your coach?
I work with a coach. I believe that most coaches should have their own coach. I think it's very important for accountability, for sustainability, longevity, for their own knowledge. I found my coach through mutual friends. I had mutual friends who were coached by this guy, and I thought I'd reach out to him just to see what he was about, and because I'd heard so much about him from other people. And they couldn't speak highly enough of him. I met him, we had a phone call, we had a chat, and just from there, it just blossomed and just worked, it just fit.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to give me a shout out?
Taylor Crabtree is my coach. He runs Crabtree Performance. He has been a coach for many, many years now. He's coached many athletes from a very high caliber, and he continues to do such good things. He is one of the top coaches in Australia, and he just keeps getting better and better each year with his own coaching.
Yeah, nice. And he's Brizzy based?
He's based in New South Wales.
Okay.
He's been all over Australia, I reckon. I don't know exactly, but I think he's based in New South Wales now. But he has a very, very popular online platform. Mm-hmm. So he's very, very easily reachable, and people get in contact with him all over Australia.
Mm-hmm. And what was the mindset leading into prep, throughout prep, and then while you're up on stage?
The mindset through prep was just get through every day, like day in, day out, just do the exact same thing, just do what I need to do each day, and that's all I really wanted to focus on. Mm-hmm. With a prep which lasts the 26 weeks, it's silly to just look at the long-term goal and just look towards the end achievement. You've got to break it down into smaller parts, and that's what I did. I broke it down into weekly goals and even daily at some point, just to make sure I was doing what I needed to do each day, and that kept me on track for the full 6 months.
And you were checking in with your coach every day or every week, or?
I was checking in with him every week for the first, I'd say, 16 to 18 weeks. And then come the last 8, it was every day. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And then just before those couple seconds before you go out on stage and pose in front of hundreds, thousands of people, what was going through your mind?
Oh, man, I was a mess. I was a mess. I remember I was backstage and, I'd seen the guys go before me and I was like, holy hell, like what have I signed up for? Like I saw these guys backstage and I was like, this is a nightmare. What am I doing? I just kind of blanked for a little bit. I remember just standing backstage and I was kind of by myself and I was kind of what we call pumping up backstage, but really I was just trying to get my breath back and slow my heart rate down and not stress out too much. But once I got up on that stage, I felt like I belonged a little bit in the part where I felt way more comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like before the stage was when the nerves were there and the stress was there, but as soon as I got onto the stage, I felt way more comfortable. So I was just that time before it.
Yeah, cool. And when you're up on stage, is it like passive aggressive with other competitors, or it's all like kind of you're on the same page with things? Or
we're all on the same page.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, everyone knows how tough a bodybuilding journey is.
So it's mutual respect.
And a bodybuilding prep is,
yep,
if they've been in it. Mm-hmm. So there is so much mutual respect between everybody. I couldn't believe it. I met so many new people. I did nationals in Melbourne, and the amount of people that I met down in Victoria from the WA, South Australia, New South Wales, I met so many more people, and I think there is a mutual respect, like you said, because we all know what we've been through to get to that point of the prep. Mm-hmm.
And you've been very humble about it, but what was your results of both your comps?
Oh, so...
I know you're trying to skim over that one, but...
I was very fortunate enough to win one of my junior classes at the Queensland show. So I came first in Classic Physique junior class for Queensland, so I won that one, and I got a third place in men's junior bodybuilding for Queensland as well. From there, 2 weeks later, I went down to nationals, and I got another third place in Classic Physique bodybuilding, Classic Physique juniors. Sorry. So
was that second show an easier process? Like, were you as nervous for that second one compared to the Queensland one?
It was so much easier.
Easier, yeah.
I had a little bit of sense of accomplishment already from the first show. Like I was still on such a high from the results I achieved in the Queensland show that Nationals felt like a breeze. It was honestly just more of an enjoyment thing rather than a stressful, nervous time, because I knew I had already reached my goal already. So it was just kind of like the icing on top of the cake, really.
No, that's awesome. And I feel like it's something people don't really talk about a whole lot when they're going through a prep, but the strain on the relationships between friends, the partner, the family, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it's very important to have a very tight, close-knit family when going through a prep phase. I've heard many stories about people distancing themselves and being in the wrong groups, wrong crowds, and sometimes it can inevitably end up in you calling quits or finishing your prep early. For me, I'm so fortunate to have, like I said before, quite a tight-knit family. My mates are all there for me. I had all my mates in my show. I have a very supportive partner. She was amazing throughout the whole prep, and I couldn't speak highly enough of her. So it's super important to have those fundamentals and foundations set before your prep starts. So then when the times do get tough, you have all those people that are very understanding for you and people that are there for you when you need it the most.
So it's very important having that support circle and making sure everyone's on the same page.
Support circle's probably number one thing you could have.
Yeah, cool. And what is prep brain?
Prep brain. Prep brain is doing something that you would never ever do ever, but you've done it. Like prep brain is doing the most stupidest things you would think. For me, prep brain is not being able to physically, make the correlation between what you're doing with your brain and with your hands. Okay? There's a little bit of a pathway gap, what I would call it, where you do things that just are so out of the unnormal.
Is that from like being so heavily deficit with calories, or sleep deprivation, or focus?
Sleep deprivation. You're so focused, like I said earlier, on your daily tasks and what you're doing each day repetitively, and you're so focused on those little things that when certain other moments of the day pop up, you don't process them properly. You tend to do some silly and wacky things that just you wouldn't normally do. Yeah.
So it's pretty similar to like baby brain, or
might be baby brain. That might be a good way to put it.
Yeah, cool. So I just want to touch on a few like personal questions, and then we'll get into like the training side of things after that. It's a big thing at the moment. Everyone kind of compares their own routine. But what's your morning routine tend to look like?
My morning routine? Well, my morning routine is wake up, check my body weight, go to the toilet. Go to the toilet before, check my body weight, eat breakfast, go to work.
Every single day?
Monday to Friday.
Yeah, well.
I'm very, very basic. I don't do any ice baths. I don't do any meditation. I don't do any touch grass or anything like that.
TikTok stuff.
Stuff. I'm very, very basic. I wake up, I go to the toilet, I check my weight every single morning, and then I get on with my day. I'm a very, very basic but routine person.
I think that's probably 90% of other people. And you only see the ones that other 10% on TikTok. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like the ice bath and the meditation and everything like that would be good. Don't get me wrong, it would be a positive thing one way or another. How effective it is, how important it is, I think people overcomplicate these things way too much.
I agree. But in saying that, you got to find something that works, and if you know all that sort of stuff works for you, then
if it makes you have a better day, keep doing it. That's all I say. Like, keep doing it. If it works for you, don't change just because I don't do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if it works for you, keep doing it. But for me, they're not in the picture. No.
Yeah, no, I agree. And how much sleep do you tend to get per night?
Well, look. 8 to 10 hours every single night, perfect sleep, is what I wish I could say. However, I have mentioned to my clients many times that I'm sometimes a little bit of a hypocrite when it comes to advocating how important sleep is. For me, my sleep has gotten so much better. I tend to get usually a good 7 to 8 hours. Back in the days when we were playing football, we would get 5 hours sleep?
Yeah, those late night.
4 hours sleep. We would train till 10 o'clock.
Yep.
You'd float around, you'd do your thing, you'd get up at 4 in the morning.
Come to class. Yep.
Exactly right. So back in the day, it used to be horrible, 5 hours, 6 hours. But now I usually get around to 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've kind of realised that a little bit this year after taking a bit of a step away from that scene and actually enjoying those late night routines instead of having to be down there in the cold and the wet and you're standing around and I definitely 8 hours is my go-to now. What's the most common mistake people make in the gym?
The most common thing I see people do is not having a plan for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I see people come in every single day, do the exact same 3 to 4 exercises. We'll put that in quotation marks, exercises. Sometimes I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they'll come in, they'll do the exact same 3 to 4 things every single day, go get their coffee, go home. They don't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
A plan is so important when you're in the gym. You need a plan as soon as you walk in. You need to know what you're doing today, what you're training today, what your goals are for the day, what machines you're going to do, what exercise you're going to do, and having a very good plan sets you up so much better for progression.
Do you think a lot of people just use the gym just to tick a box or just say that they go to the gym?
1000%.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people can attest for this, phones in the gym. We see phones in the gym so much more these days. And I think people do. I think they do. I think they want to tell everyone and let everyone know that they've been to the gym by posting a photo or posting a story or doing something like that to just show the world that they've been to the gym.
Mm.
What the people don't see is what they actually do at the gym.
Exactly.
They may be at the gym. What are they actually doing?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Load up on the coffees. That's what they do.
Load up on the coffees.
So apart from Taylor, who are other coaches or mentors that have helped you get to where you are now?
Ooh. Well, from football, I've had many different coaches, which is very different to Taylor in the terms of the bodybuilding sense, but they taught me a lot of things in regards to leadership, in regards to teamwork, into regards to respecting others and being a presence and being a leader. And I've had a lot of guys that have, a lot of coaches that have been very, very knowledgeable in the way that they communicate to people, and that's been really, really important for me.
Yeah, cool. And what's an underrated exercise people should do more in the gym?
Underrated exercise. All right. I won't go one particular exercise, but I think what is so underrated is unilateral movements. I think doing single leg movements and single arm movements are so important for fixing your imbalances, for perfecting form, for getting your form and execution as close to 100% possible as you possibly can.
Good answer.
I think unilateral movements are amazing. They should be done more often. A lot of the time, machines are one size fits all. All right. If you have a female that is 5'2" and a male that is 6'7", and you have a machine that is one size fits all, how do you expect them both to execute as close to 100% as they can? It may mean the guy that is 6'7" may have to do the machine unilaterally by doing either a single leg or a single arm movement to fit his body measurements. So I think I wouldn't say I don't know exactly one underrated exercise, but I think unilateral movements as a whole are criminally underused.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Do you struggle with motivation?
Of course.
Just like anyone?
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Everyone struggles with motivation.
How do you deal with it?
Disciplined. Just having a goal in mind. I said before,
kind of goes back to what you said before about having a plan.
Exactly. The prep was 26 weeks, but I broke that down into weekly goals. And I think everyone has a long-term plan. Well, they should have a long-term plan. But I think it's just as important to have short-term plans to receive short-term wins. And I think short-term wins will give you that motivation and will give you that discipline each day.
For the long-term plan.
For the long-term plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of helps fuel on it as well.
For sure.
As PTs, we deal a lot with burnout, just like anyone else. But how do you deal with burnout?
Take time away. Like it can be hard. Like we have our own business. I guess most business owners would think, more work. Like we get so indulged into our work because it is our business that sometimes you don't realize that actually taking one step back or a step away gives you that 2 steps forward. And I think having a good balance between work and your lifestyle, so your family, your friends, your hobbies, is so important. 2, not getting that burnout. If you work 7 days a week, every day, you'll be burnt out within a month. There is no sustainability with that at all. You need the balance. You need, like you spoke on before, with the healthy relationships with friends, family, partners, whatever it is, to avoid that burnout.
You've got to know when to take a step away.
100%.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit more about the personal training and fitness industry. Do you think trainers have to look fit to be a good trainer? It's like the $1 million question.
Look, there can be people that don't look fit, but know more than me and are very educated. However, there is a sense of if you're going to talk the talk, you should walk the walk. Like I truly believe that if you are a trainer and you are advocating for healthy eating, solid training, goal planning, good habits, and you don't do them yourselves, you're doing your clients an injustice. Mm-hmm. I think that you should be able to walk the walk just as much as you talk it. And I think having an appearance, although these people can be educated and very smart, and a lot of them can still be good trainers, and they probably are still good trainers, I think there is a sense where you should be able to look a certain way as a trainer just by your knowledge and doing the fundamentals that you tell your clients to be.
I guess from a client's point of view, when they walk up, when the sales team or the MCs take them up to that PT board and they're going over all the PTs, and one of them doesn't look as fit or as healthy as they should, as you'd think as a PT, do you think that then affects their potential sales or clients?
Of course. I believe it's just human nature. If you look at it like another sense of an occupation, and you say to you're going to get cycling lessons from a cyclist, and this cyclist is a 200 kilo man that clearly doesn't cycle, would you go to him, or would you go to the one that looks like he cycle, is fit, is in shape? Like it's human nature to naturally get attracted and drawn to the people that you believe show the daily habits that you want to. You know what I mean? Like if you're someone coming to the gym and you are after a trainer and you're struggling with your habits or accountability, sustainability, you are looking for someone who demonstrates those actions day in, day out. And the best way for you to tell that is by their appearance.
Yeah, that's true. What's the hardest thing about being a PT?
The hardest thing about being a PT, I think it's your relationships. I think it's building relationships with a lot of people. I think everyone knows how to write meal plans and write training programs and show an exercise to be like how an exercise is done. But I think building relationships is one of the hardest things it is for a trainer, because there are so many different people in the world and you meet different people day in, day out. And I think a lot of trainers struggle with the relationship part, where their clients don't trust them or they don't trust their client because there's no relationship in between. It's just simply do this exercise, eat this food. You know what I mean? It's very just...
It's trying to get your clients' trust, essentially.
Trust, yeah. And to build that trust is to have that relationship. So I think that's the hardest thing for a trainer and a client, is to build that relationship?
Personal trainers are only for beginners in the gym. True or false?
False. I think, like, look at me. Like, I have my own trainer. Like, I have my own coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, if I didn't have my own coach, I don't know where I wouldn't be. It's the accountability and it's the long-term goals that they instill in you. It's so, so important. Like, we all have coaches. Like, everyone's got coaches. I think coaches are so important for that accountability aspect and to actually have someone on top of you day in, day out to make sure you're getting you where you want to be.
And that kind of ties into the next question is why would you hire a PT when all the information is online? Nothing wrong with ChatGPT.
Just go on ChatGPT and look up your next training program and your meal plan and you're good. What was the question exactly?
I think you pretty much answered it. That was a good answer.
Just the accountability aspect, like having that human interaction and that relationship, you can't get with a laptop. You know what I mean? Like having that accountability and someone there for you that you can talk to each day to express how you're feeling, how you're going, and vice versa. Like I said in the relationships part, like you build that relationship, you can't have it with the laptop.
No, definitely. Well, essentially, people buy trainers. You could be the worst trainer, but you could be not the most experienced trainer, and people can just gravitate towards you. I guess the clients have to relate to the trainer to a certain extent.
For sure.
You know, what's a common piece of advice you'd give most clients?
Don't look too much into a massive picture. I think it's kind of been the common theme of today, but take your small wins, take your minor wins. Don't look too far in advance and have a certain physique goal in mind. I think be smart with what you're training, with what you're doing in your training, with your goals. And I think have small wins there for you each day.
And that kind of ties into the next question as well, as to how do you keep clients motivated during plateaus or setbacks? Me personally,
I just know your question.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like you read them. It's almost like you read the questions yourself. So going back to the setbacks and how to keep them motivated, I find just relaying back to 4 weeks, if they hit a PB or if the shirts are feeling a bit tighter, or if the pants are feeling a bit looser, like those little motivation wins definitely then helps. I find blast forward. Clients' motivation.
When you've made a certain amount of progress, your progress will slowly get smaller and smaller and smaller, just simply because of percentages, right? Like someone could completely change their body within the space of a year, but the last 4 to 6 weeks, it might only be small. But that's when it's important as a trainer to actually track their progress. So then you can say, hey, look what you're doing 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. Look at the weights you were doing 8 months ago. Look at the clothes you were wearing 12 months ago. It's always good to account back, like you were saying, to that previous history and where they have been. Mm-hmm. If someone makes a large amount of progress, they can and their progress tends to slow down as it naturally does. People might feel a bit more unaccomplished as what they used to be. However, if you look at the bigger picture, take them back 12 months ago compared to where they are now, that keeps my clients motivated because they see where they were, they see where they are now, and they go, holy hell, look at the difference.
Well, it's a lot for someone over that 12 months if their first day or their first month at the gym, they couldn't even work up the confidence to walk onto that main gym floor. They were just doing classes, or not that there's anything wrong with classes, but if their anxiety is that high that they couldn't even walk through the main part of the gym floor at 4 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, and then fast forward 12 months and they're doing everything, or they're training friends, whatever, like that's a massive win that I think's definitely underrated for a lot of people.
That's their first win. Like people don't realize, but that is their first win. They are winning by going out of their comfort zone already. Before they've made any progress, they are progressing. Without seeing a number on the scale drop or go up, or without a weight being even lifted, they're already progressing because they've gotten out of the comfort zone, they're trying something else, and they are really pushing themselves to make them a better person.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Oh, did it stop?
Yeah, it only records for half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to reset it. All right, and we're back. What do you think people get wrong about personal trainers?
I think people believe that they can get the same impact by Googling the programs. I think that people think that personal trainers are overpriced. They're not worth their value. I think that people think they're a waste of time because people don't receive results. And they believe that they can get the results from Googling the next best training program or copying someone on Instagram or TikTok. I think people get that wrong all the time.
Do you think the industry is saturated at the moment with PTs?
The industry has been saturated for many years now. In terms of PTs, I think I meant when I said saturated, I was talking more about the online coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I think PTs exactly, face-to-face trainers, I think it's actually gone down because of the online coaches. But these online coaches don't need any accreditation. They can work from home all day. They don't have to worry about seeing you face-to-face. Like, they're not the same as personal trainers. So I think in terms of being PTs, it's definitely not as saturated. But online coaches is where there's a lot more saturated people.
Everyone's an online coach.
Everyone's an online coach. If you've been to the gym before and you've hit a 60 kilo bench or you've done a big squat or something,
Chuck it on Instagram, doesn't count otherwise.
Put it on Instagram, and you know how to squat. So let's tell everyone else how to squat, right?
Definitely. And you don't have to answer this one as accurate as you want, but how much can a PT range within a year?
What do you mean by range in a year?
So between X amount of money.
Yeah, look, it really depends on how many clients you have and how much you're charging for each session.
What do you think the average range is for a semi-decent PT to make in a year?
I think a semi-decent PT can make 70 to 80,000 a year. I think the people that are advanced, the people that are good at their job, are good at building relationships, are good at building a business, can go much higher than that. There is so much more to actually do in the business. However, a semi-decent, I think it would be around a 70 to 80,000 a year.
Yeah, cool. And what makes a good trainer or coach?
I think it's the same as what's also the hardest bit about being a trainer. It's building those relationships. I think, like I said, everyone can write a program and everyone can give a meal plan, but it's so important to build those relationships with your clients to have that, so then your clients have your trust in you. I think as much as we see different people every single day, I'm friends with people that I never thought I would be in my life. You know, some of my closest friends are some of my clients that I see multiple times a week. And we've built a friendship out of simply just personal training. And, you know, I have clients that are in their 50s, 60s, and we could talk all day. And I just never thought I would ever be able to have that relationship with someone. So that is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's jump into some fitness myths. Ooh. All right. So I think one of the most common ones that we've heard is lifting weights makes you bulky.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Look at me. It does.
Lifting too many weights as a female makes you bulky.
There is a certain point and there is a certain level naturally where a female can, or male can go. In terms of bulky weights, look, it's like the whole thing, right? Like the heavier you lift, the bulkier you get, right?
If it was that easy, I feel like everyone would just be walking around jacked.
It would be like...
You know, do 3 months of gym and you're ready to jump up on stage.
Exactly right. Like these people that do like the bodybuilding shows, like the stage, they've been doing their craft for years. I think it actually makes me laugh when I hear like, oh, females, you know, they lift weights to get too bulky. Like they lift weights to be fitter, to live a better life, to run faster, to be more physically capable in other fields of life. It's never just to look bulky or get big muscles. Doesn't work like that. It's not that easy, unfortunately.
And probably the second most asked question that I come across is people think they can reduce fat, especially stomach fat, from doing lots of crunches.
Oh, I wish. Don't we all wish these things? It's funny how like all the fitness myths are just everything that we go to bed just wishing about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, body fat leaves the body in a very, very parallel way where if your body weight goes down, you're losing fat everywhere. Just because you are targeting a certain muscle by doing crunches doesn't mean you're going to lose body fat on your abs.
Mm-hmm.
You may do. There's some people that have more body fat on certain muscle groups and certain parts of your body than others. So you may do. But in all, no, it won't. Unfortunately, body fat leaves the body as a whole rather than a certain spot.
Mm-hmm. And carbs are really bad for you, especially after 6 o'clock.
Oh, so bad. I was in a preparation phase. I was in a dieting phase where I had carbs every single day. I lost nearly 25 kilos in the whole dieting phase. I ate carbs every single day. It does not matter how many or how little carbs you eat, as long as you are in a calorie deficit, aka eating below your maintenance calories. That is how you will lose weight. Doesn't matter how you position those carbs throughout the day. Doesn't matter too much. You can, of course, prioritize the positioning of the carbs. Carbs are your fuel source. Having carbs in and around your training sessions helps heaps. It helps with having energy for sessions. It helps for recovering as soon as you are finished the session. But it does not matter where you position your carbs if you are in a fat loss phase, if you aren't eating below your maintenance calories.
And that kind of ties into, I guess, this week's viewer question. Is a higher carb meal better at breakfast time to burn off those carbs over the day as opposed to lunch and dinner?
Yeah, again, for me personally, it comes down to when you train throughout the day. If you train at 8 o'clock in the morning and you have one meal, having carbs before that meal, it is fine. Like, it will give you the energy to train. However, you will not burn more fat because you've eaten it before 12 p.m. Like, it won't work like that, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Again, from a digestive standpoint, having carbs early in the day can assist you. However, what I see a lot of the time is people restrict themselves from having carbs, and they do have them in the morning, but then when it comes to the afternoon, they're hungry and they have certain meals which don't have carbs in them and they don't fulfill the appetite. So that's when you see people cheat on their diet, have a little snack, have a little cookie, because they're hungry, because they've got that craving. So just because you have all your carbs in the morning doesn't mean you're going to lose more fat throughout the day, because you're more likely to binge as you get hungrier throughout the afternoon and towards the night.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty good answer. Let's touch on a little bit of advice. So hopefully someone listening to this can take it away and utilize it for them. How to stay active while working a sedentary job?
I think just build those habits. I think having habits are so important. I think making sure your step count is as high as possible. I think that's where I see a lot of people go wrong, is they think, oh my God, I can't make it to the gym. Let's just skip today and just try tomorrow. You don't have to get to the gym to be able to keep yourself in a healthy lifestyle. I think waking up, going for a 30-minute walk, walking the dog, coming home from work, walking the dog in the afternoon, going for your own little walks. There's many different ways to be in a healthy lifestyle than just going to the gym. Mm-hmm. And I understand it's hard for a lot of people to get to the gym sometimes because they might work crazy hours where they have to travel far. Like, that's fine, but everybody has at least half an hour in the morning or afternoon to go for a walk.
Yeah, definitely. The benefits of resistance training for women.
Resistance training for women is crucial. It's so, so important for women. As women get older, they go through perimenopause, menopause, where their cortisol levels are through the roof. They build what we call insulin resistance. Okay, it is where it is harder for women to keep the muscle that they've always previously had. So it's so important, if not more important, for older ladies to do resistance training to be able to build that strength up to fight against that insulin resistance.
And how to stay active and motivated in the winter months?
How to stay in the winter months. Turn that heater on as soon as you wake up. Get out of bed, turn that fan off. I think it's building the discipline, like to know that you can still do it. Just because it's a colder month and we all want to doesn't mean you have to. Like,
oh, but the sun's down at 5 o'clock.
Oh, the sun's down at 5 o'clock. You can still walk at 6 o'clock. Like, it's okay. Just build that discipline that you have in yourself. Build that guilt. I know I was talking to a member of one of the classes a few weeks ago because they were struggling a little bit with getting to the gym in the colder months and the early mornings, and they said it was just so much easier to stay in bed. And they said one morning they stayed in bed, and they felt a bit of guilt towards staying in bed. And I said, yes, that's perfect.
That's a good thing.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Mm-hmm. I think having that feeling of guilt means you know in yourself you should have went. I think that's the best way to build those habits and that discipline.
No, that's good. It's a good answer. And we'll start to wrap it up a little bit. So last couple of questions. What does success look like to you? In life in general, in business, anything?
That's deep.
That's very deep.
That's pretty deep. Success to me is working to achieve a certain goal. This is for myself, individual. Working to achieve the goals I've set out for myself for many years. I think success is making your parents proud and happy. I think there'd be nothing more rewarding for your parents to see you striving towards achieving your goals. And I think that screams success to me. I think waking up every day proud of the version of the person you are or becoming is success. I think being in a positive mindset and having the drive to do what you want to do each day, it screams success to me. Mm-hmm. It's a very broad answer.
Yeah, but it's specific to you though.
There's many different avenues of success. And I think that making the people around you proud as well as yourself, I think having that feeling of being proud is the most successful feeling you can have. Mm-hmm.
What's after personal training?
What's after personal training? Well, I have done half of my university degree, so I think that's definitely on the bucket list to finish off and wrap up.
Have you said what the degree is?
Yeah, exercise, sport science. Mm-hmm. But you never know. Who knows? Like, honestly, 5 years ago, I was just finishing high school and I didn't think that I'd be in this position that I am now. So looking for another 5 years, I'll be close to 30.
Because how old are you now? 25?
23.
23.
I'll be getting close to my 30s, which is scary.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, see what happens.
Here's another nice deep question for you on a Tuesday morning. If you could put something up on a billboard, what would it be? Whether it's advice, a quote, a photo.
Can it be a photo of me winning my bodybuilding comp?
Look, if that's going to inspire people, then...
What would I put up on a billboard? What would I put up on a billboard? I feel like I'd put up my business name.
Good answer.
I feel like if you're looking at a billboard, I feel like if I have a billboard in Burpengary of my family or myself, it might be a bit weird and awkward after the first or second time. But I think having maybe a business name or some sort of thing towards my business might probably be the most less awkward thing. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'd get awkward if I drove past a photo of myself every day.
Yeah.
Or like your family or anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I don't think there's a right answer to that one. But
yeah, I think it's just whatever feels less awkward to see.
Yeah. Still a good answer. And I think that's a good way to end this chat. Josh, thanks for being here for the first episode and being so open with your answers. If people want to work with you online or face-to-face, how can they get in contact with you?
Yes, so I am here at World Gym Burpengary Monday to Friday. My business card's out the front. I'm always offering package deals to start up with me. You can find me on Instagram at Josh Gorman. I'm on Facebook as well. But yes, if you're in Burpengary, come down to the club. Grab a business card, get in contact with me, and I'm always offering deals.
And if they're not in Burpengary and they want to work with you online, you got online?
Yep, I'm online as well. So reach me Instagram. I have a fill-in form on my Instagram, my link tree, and get in contact with me wherever you can. Yeah,
cool. Right, if you made it this far, guys, thank you. If you have enjoyed it, please send it through. Please send through any fitness myths or questions for the next episode. Hopefully, you took something away from this chat, and catch you next time on Coach's Corner. Thanks, guys.